ever met someone who changes depending upon who they're around? I mean, like 1 minute they're one way and the next minute they're totally different. They agree with everything in one room, then flip their stance in another. They laugh at jokes they don't find funny, and they nod along in opinion to things they don't believe in. They contort themselves into whatever shape they think will make the people around them happy or like them. These are what I like to call as shapeshifters. These are the people who try so hard to please everyone that they encounter that they end up pleasing no one, not even themselves. And let's be real, family. We've all done it at some point. But if you're constantly changing to fit in, then who are you really? Hey, Circle. Welcome back to Unplugged, Raw and Uncut. If you're new here, pull up a chair. This is the village where we keep it real, raw, and respectable. And to my returning circle, welcome back, family. It's always great to see you guys again. Now, let's jump right into this interesting topic. Have you ever noticed how some people become a different version of themselves depending on who's in the room? One moment they're going along with the crowd. The next moment, total shift. I mean, they spend so much time trying to fit in, they forget what it is they actually believe in. And here's the thing, it's exhausting. Because when you're constantly switching up, you lose yourself in the process. And I myself have personally seen a lot of this on social media where people are so busy being who they want you to believe they are that they forget who they are. They're so busy cultivating this persona that they forget their personality. They wear so many masks after a while, they simply forget who they are. It's sad, but in today's society, that's become acceptable. Not only acceptable, but widespread. And just know, people don't become shapeshifters overnight. It's definitely a learned behavior. Somewhere along the way, they picked up the idea that being liked is more important than being real. And that keeping the peace is more important than speaking the truth. And rejection is to be feared and not accepted. But rejection is a natural part of life. It forces growth. Or maybe it was they grew up in a house where conflict just wasn't allowed. Or maybe they heard that term that disagreeing makes it difficult. There's a lot of that going around. Or maybe it was that they just got so used to putting others first that they forgot how to stand firm. Shapeshifters aren't bad people. They're just misguided and afraid. They're afraid of being judged, first off. And they're afraid of being alone, so they can contort themselves to whatever the crowd is doing or what they think the crowd wants them to be so they can be around people or people will be around them. And they're afraid of being the odd one out. But let me tell you something. If you have to change who you are just to be accepted, then you're in the wrong room. And let's be honest about this. Being a shapeshifter comes at a very high price, people. Because after a while, you don't even know who you are or what you believe. So you lose your own identity. And that's a hard thing to regain. Sometimes you can lose it and never regain it. And when you're not real, the relationships and connections that you build over time, they're not real. They're fake. Fake people attract fake connections. And keeping up 100 different versions of yourself and 100 different versions of your lives, you'll just burn out. You'll burn out. And worst off, people can feel when you're being fake, dishonest, and they'll lose respect for you. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you weren't being true to yourself? Drop it down in the comments. And we've focused a lot of time and energy and attention on the problem. Now it's time to focus some time and energy on a solution. So, how do you break free from being a people pleaser? How do you stop just going with the flow and doing whatever crowd wants you to do? First, you need to get clear on who you are. What do you want and what do you stand on? And that needs to be made very clear, not just to yourself, but to the people around you. Practice saying no. If something doesn't sit right with you, or you don't believe it, or you don't agree with it, don't force it. Just say no. No does mean no. Learn to embrace discomfort. And know that some people won't like the real you no matter what. And that's okay. Discomfort, natural part of life. Discomfort means growth. And start small. You don't have to flip overnight and become a different person, but just start showing up as yourself. If you start showing up as yourself, the process will actually start itself. And there's something that I know for sure. The right people will respect you for what you're doing, being you, being true. And the wrong people, well, they'll fade away. They'll fall off like leaves off a tree. And guess what? You'll be better for it. You really will. Now, family, it's your turn. Are you a shapeshifter? Do you feel like you've spent too much time trying to fit in instead of standing on your own truth? Or maybe you had shapeshifters in your own life. People who changed on you depending on the situations. Fakes you out there. You see that? Let's talk about it. Drop your comments down below. And if this message hit home for you today, I'm going to need you to do me a favor. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with someone who needs to hear this. And thank you for pulling up a chair with me today, family. And hey, let's continue to grow this village one voice at a time. Because in this village, every voice matters. You know that. You know that. And you're always welcome here anytime. Well, as always, take care of yourself and each other. I'm and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.